All right. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Today we have about 49 people registered. Thank you so much for you guys being on time and showing up and showing out. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come and learn about the Montgomery County program. You're going to be really excited about it. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to have this program with Montgomery County again because I used to work with Montgomery County in a different organization. So I'm really excited about that. And so, wanted to kind of really just really dig deep into this program that you all have signed up for and very excited to be a part of it. So we're going to go ahead and get started right now because I have a lot to share. And hopefully my AC is not too loud. So this is it was supposed to be 49 people. Right now we have 10, so we'll probably have people pop in as we are continuing to talk, or they can look at the video. So what is this program that you guys are very much interested in, right? What is this program? So we're going to be going over that. We're going to be talking about the benefits. We're going to be talking about how it's going to be help you. We're going to be talking about how you register and how you can be qualified to take advantage of this free program from the county that they have given us. And let me tell you guys, this is one of those rare ones that if you don't get in, you kind of, you miss the boat. So I'm going to give you all of that, right? Straight up front right here, right now, so that you can understand what you're getting into. So let me introduce myself. My name is Ann Alston. I'm the CEO and founder of Austin Tech LLC. I've been running Austin Tech since 1995, 2005, actually. 2005, I've been running it. I was a sole proprietor before that. From 97 on up to that point. And so for all those many years, I have been doing all types of business help, technical assistance, IT assistance, all that stuff, even desktop publishing, which is where I got my start from A&M Creations, and just doing desktop publishing and IT support, and kind of ventured over into business consultation and training and workforce development. Outside of that, I work for the DOW as a cyber ops and strategist planner over there. Been kind of over there for 6 years now. And just like all of you, went through COVID, almost lost everything, trying to bounce back, trying to get back out there. And so far, so good. Things are, working out. So I created this program about 12 years ago to help individuals like ourselves who are either starting a business for the first time or have a business and have done some stuff or maybe well established that need to have structure, that need to go back and refresh, that need to get all of the pieces and parts that you may have missed during the process of you starting a business, right? So this program has been very successful over the last 12 years. I'm the only company in all of Maryland that offer this program. Any other program that do cohorts will stem from the model of the small business strategy course. I have worked with so many organizations, including Montgomery County Housing Opportunity Commission, where I did this program for 8 years with them. I've also done workforce development with the school system in Prince George's County, worked with the Department of Education, worked with so many nonprofits, and also have done events where I had sponsorship from M&T Bank, Capital One, University of Phoenix, and some other organizations. So it's really been let me tell you, it's been an amazing ride. I have been exposed to so many great opportunities through my business. And so I try to pass that on to you so that you can have the same experience in your line of work or your field of business. So that's about me. And of course, I have all these certifications and all these degrees because, I had to kind of go out there and like life, before I even did all this stuff, I had to go out and get education to compete. But that just lets you know the level of work that I had to go through just to get to just this stage in my business. So it's really all to kind of, help educate me as a business owner so I can educate you all, right? So really excited about that. So this is just a snapshot of where I came from and where I'm going right now. And as you can see, I mentioned some of the organizations I worked for over the years, some of the milestones that I had to meet, and how I'm still going. I'm still evolving. And now that COVID is over, I too have to restructure. I too have to follow some of the stuff that I'm going to be teaching all of you in the class. And so wanted you to see where my journey has gone and started and gone, and where I continue to keep growing, right? So that's really what this is all about. So if you haven't had a chance to scope out my website at austintech-smallbusiness.com, we do have testimonies from students who have attended this course and cohort. I was waiting to see if one of my students will join tonight. Her name is Toya. She's supposed to be joining tonight. However, I will tell you, you can go to any one of these videos and they will tell you exactly their experience in this course. I can tell you I'm very straightforward. I don't hold my tongue. I don't hold no bars. I am very straightforward because my job is to make sure you succeed. And it's not even about my reputation of starting businesses. It's about making sure that we have a strong ecosystem of entrepreneurs that are out there that are doing the things they're supposed to be doing as a small business entity all together holistically, right? Because you can't do what you want to do in life if you don't have that structure and that foundation. And that is the goal of this course. That's the goal of my organization. And also to make sure that you're not making the wrong decisions, or if you're thinking you're making the decision, that you can take the time, vet those decisions, and be able to prosper in what you're trying to do. And that is sort of the mission of what my company does. So all of these folks that you see on this screenshot here have given their testimony. So feel free to go to my website under testimonies and take a listen to that. The Montgomery County program is just one of many programs that service small business owners. They are really responsible for making sure that their ecosystem and their municipalities are, doing the things that they need to do to foster Montgomery County residents and the businesses that reside there. So part of this is investing in small business owners like me to come and help small businesses like you. Okay, to get those opportunities, to get the storefronts, to get the grants, the contract opportunities, and anything that you feel like that is going to benefit your business in the long run. So, although this program is for Montgomery County, there is room for other folks in other counties, but I'm going to get into the requirements. So make sure you stay until the end of the presentation to get all of the information. Just don't count it out because you might be in DC or Prince George's County. There is opportunity for you to be part of this course. Just stay and just listen to the whole thing. And then please feel free to ask a question anytime. Again, we had about 49 people showed up. The people that's supposed to be here are in this room. So feel free to raise your hand or ask a question or take yourself off mute, because this is your time to ask questions. This is your time to get some understanding about what it is that this program is going to do to help you. Okay. So, matter of fact, do we have any questions right now? Anybody have anything that they want to add right now or a question? Okay.
I have a question. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Go right ahead, Miss Demetra.
Okay, thank you. So I did not start my business yet, and I've
That's
been real
fine.
hesitant to do it. So I that's exactly what I don't want to. Like, do you help with
That is
starting up a
exactly
business?
That's right. I help you start businesses no matter where you are. Either you're starting or I'm helping you with your existing, right? So this program does both. It caters to anyone in any industry that has started a business, thinking about starting a business, have already started a business. And if you already started a business, there could be elements that you probably never been exposed to when you did do your business. You could be very well out there making a lot of money. I've had people come in here who have been in business for 20 years and never had a business plan, never knew what a marketing plan was, never knew how to make sales. They just kind of winged it. But if you have a concept and it's a good concept, then yes, we do help you with that in this class.
Okay. And you said we also help with business planning as well. Like just because I have some things written down, but it's all over the place. So like I'm trying to
Now
get it together.
that's what I'm going to help you, and I'm going to explain to you how I'm going to do that. That's an excellent question. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Okay, I got to do my little presentation spiel. So, okay. So, why do people want to start a business in the first place? Okay. So, the general things, as you see on the screen right here, of course, the number one is we want to make some money. Okay. Everybody wants to have financial freedom on some level, right? They want to make that extra money, pay their bills, take care of their kids, make sure that they have the backing that they need to feel comfortable in life, right? And that's perfectly fine. Some people just want to feel like they're the boss. They want to have their own rules and regulations and stuff. I'm one of them. I just want to be my own boss. I don't want to work for nobody no more. And I was very close to that before COVID, right? And some people just want a nonprofit. They just want to help other people. They want to work the community. They want to do food banks and things like that. It doesn't matter what it is that you do, is it the value of that business is what you're looking for, because you can have a business but without the passion that's behind it, without the value that you're adding to it, it's just another 9 to 5 job that you're doing. Okay. You have to have a certain mindset in order to be a business owner, because now you're responsible for everything. You're responsible for every single decision, whether you have partners or not, whether you have a group of people helping you, it all boils down to you, right? So, what is the value that you're looking for in your business that you're trying to start that's going to be of value to the people who you're trying to serve, your customers who you're trying to sell to, that eventually will become part of your ecosystem in your business, right? So that is what we have to do. So to get there, you have to invest. You have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in time. You're going to be investing some money. You're going to be investing in somebody else, and trusting someone else is going to bring that work to you. And you're going to end up sacrificing. It's not going to be movie night over my cousin's house or going on a trip to a cruise. Sometimes, depending on how you want that business structured and your timetable and what you're trying to do, will require you to sacrifice to make it happen. And that is what real business owners, when they start up, do. They're not going to sit here and think, I build it and it should come. It just don't work that way. I can tell you that during the day when I'm at the DOW, yeah, until I do my W-2, until I get the rest of my business stuff back up, I have to do the 9 to 5. But the moment that I'm off work, my CEO comes on and my investment and my time takes over. If I stop, the business stop. If I give up, the business is not going to move. So you got to learn when to acquire that knowledge, that resources, to understand your time management, to understand when to ask for help. And you have to be intentional. The same way that people are intentional when they want a car. You want a car because you want to drive anywhere you want to drive, and you're going to make sure you don't lose those keys, and you make sure you don't lose your house. Well, you got to treat the job the same way. How dedicated, how realistic and intentional are you going to be with the passion of your business? Because it has to be at that level for you to want it, right? You got to be hungry for this business if that's what you want to do. In my experience, this business has afforded me not only to have that financial freedom that I was looking for, and it's not all the time. Okay, I'm not making billions of dollars all the time. Okay, but when I do make that money, it comes at the right time, helps me with the right things, and keeps me moving forward. And then the people who I help, they benefit from that because I invested the time in not only myself, but I invested the time in my customer. So operating a business is not hard. People make it hard when they don't do the work that's required, right? So I just really want to stress that point. And why is that? Because there are 5 things that happen every single time a business is created, right? We create these businesses, we're trying to do stuff, and then We're trying to take the quick fix. We go on YouTube, we go do LegalZoom, we put Small Business Center or some other developer that piecemeal stuff to you, and you don't have all the information. You don't have all the critical information, I should say, right? You can get some information, but you're not getting all of the information, right? So what happens is you realize that you don't have everything, and now you have to stop. You have to go back. You got to go find information. You got to waste time, money, energy. And then you lose customers. You lose opportunities to be part of something bigger than yourself. And next thing you know, you get overwhelmed, you get frustrated. Oh, this is not working. I'm not making no money. And then you stop the business altogether. And then it becomes a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. This is what it is. What is business to business relationship? That's right. My motto is if you're not doing business with another business, you're going to be out of business. Okay. I'm always partnering with someone to do something, whether I'm doing this party I'm gonna do on Saturday, which I have sponsors and vendors, which are partners, or I'm going to be doing something by myself, but I'm still collaborating with somebody on some level, right? It's just part of it, right? No more can we have businesses out here where you're not collaborating with someone else to help grow your business, okay? Especially when you're critically small. This is how businesses fail within the first 1 to 3 years. We want to hold everything to ourselves because guess what? That concept that you have might be secret, but when you give out the services, it is now public. So you got to piecemeal, or not really piecemeal, but you got to discern which one is public information and which one is your business so that you can collaborate. Okay. Now, that is what we're going to teach you in the class. So the solution is we need to help you understand the full scope and breadth of your business from the concept to what you're selling, who you're selling it to, how you're selling it, what are your costs, how much money you're expected to make, how you're going to do your taxes at the end of the year, what kind of insurance you're going to have, how do you actually create a pitch that's going to get either somebody to sponsor you or give you a grant or give you funding or something like that. What is the scope of your business? Can anybody, and this is a rhetorical question, so don't answer. I'm going to ask you, do you even know what your business impact is to a customer or many customers? Many people may say, oh, well, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing that. But at the end of the day, are they filling out your surveys? Are they coming back for more services? Are they sharing your information and telling people about the impact of your services? And if the answer is no, then you're missing something. You're missing something. And so I go through the same thing too. I have to understand who my customer is. And if I don't have that impact, then that means I have lost an opportunity. I have lost a lead. Okay. You got to understand the full operation of your business. Just because we have an LLC or a nonprofit or corporation or S Corp does not mean you understand the full operation of your business from the time that you wake up in the morning and operate your business to the time you go to bed. There's a whole circle of life that's within your business that a lot of us don't even understand we need to do until we actually run the business. So we talk about the main operation of your business. What does that mean? How much time is it going to take? What sacrifice you're going to have to give up? And what type of investment do you need to put into your business to have that operation? What team do you need, right? Because you can't do everything by yourself. You can start with some level by yourself, but you can't do everything by yourself, right? And then we help you with branding, we help you with marketing, we help you with networking, we help you with just general business to business relationships, right? And you need that in order to scale and grow your business. If you think about how many minority businesses have storefronts today, you can probably count them in your neighborhood. If you probably count them on maybe one hand or two hands, but you ain't going to use your hands or your feet because it just doesn't exist like it did in 1970. In 1970, every corner there was an African American or some sort of minority owned business that had anything from funerals to selling trees to selling candy to bondsmen and everything and hairdressers. Who remember going to nail shops when it was all women? okay, that were African American women getting nails done. You hardly see that in some neighborhoods. So this program is not only for minority business, it's for any business that is out there, whether you're minority, you're Caucasian, you're Asian, it doesn't even matter. It is about how we're represented as small business owners in the ecosystem. And we don't have a lot of that. We have a lot of online, but we're not doing business to business. Think about it. We're online where people are scrolling, but you don't have a name and you don't have a contact. So that's not business to business when somebody like your post. Business to business is like when I'm doing this party on Saturday and I have 12 vendors and two sponsors. Okay, that is the difference that I need you guys to start thinking about when it comes to scaling your business and money. Now, y'all gonna get me started today because I'm gonna start giving away some freebies in here. Okay, so this course, so let's talk about this for a second. Okay, this course has these objectives, right? I know I got three up there. The main three is the first three bullets, okay? First of all, we need to validate that what you're doing is really going to be a concept that's going to make you money because it might make you money in a minute, but is it going to make you money for the long term? Now, think about this. I've been doing this program for 12 years. It doesn't matter how many times I put this program down and pick it up, it is sustainable. So, is your concept sustainable or do you have to keep changing, right? Do you even know what it takes to go full blast? If you got like 200 customers right now, could you handle it? Do you have a team? Do you have a budget? Do you have a storefront? Do you even have anything online set up, right? Are you ready for the business, right? And it also helps you reduce the fact that you're going to fail because I'm going to force you to think about what it is that's going to stop you. I'm going to force you to restructure your concept until it makes sense. You're not going to put something out there that's an if. You just can't do that. It can't be a if when you put it out there because that means you're gambling your time. You're gambling on the hope of something, and that's where a lot of businesses feel deflated. The owners feel deflated because the hope that they had was not realistic, right? And so that is my job, is to help you succeed. So you got to come in here with an open mind. I don't care how many classes you went to, college classes you went to. I am giving you ground roots, real life, understandable what it takes to be a small business owner, who you're dealing with, how you got to deal with them. And they don't teach this in any class or any college or anything like that. You can go to experienced business people right now and they will not tell you how they're running their business all the way like that. They won't tell you because they already know what they've been in and they don't feel like they need to explain it. A lot of it has been traumatic for them, so they don't want to talk about it. But in this class, we talk about these things because you don't want, I'm not one of those people to say, hey, fill out an LLC and do this lean business plan. And yeah, you should be a legal business now. And you should be able to do this with your brand and then send you out there. That's not what we do in this course. We don't do this at all because I wouldn't be helping you if I did that. So that's how I am. So to answer Demetria's question, so if you're brand new, if you live in Montgomery County, or if you happen to be in another county and there's a seat open and you are starting a business for the first time, this class is for you. If you home base, if you've been doing stuff from home, meaning if you're working from home, you don't have a storefront, maybe there's stuff online, or you just doing it, and some people call it a side hustle. I don't call it a side hustle. If you're a sole proprietor, your business, right? Or maybe you've been out there for a long time, you've been winging it, you've been kind of doing it, and maybe you still having trouble with clients, or you're still having trouble with understanding what you need to do, or maybe you're sort of you're not consistent. You're good doing one time and then you kind of down for like 6 months and then you're back again. Or maybe you register your business, everything is good, but your registration is messed up, your credit is messed up, you can't get funding, you can't get this. That's what this class is for. It's for you. It's for whoever fits into that category for this specific course, right? So having an open mind and being open to understanding what might you need to incorporate comes from mentoring with me, having consultation with me, coming to the class every single week and getting the information, going to the workshops where we're doing working meetings to help you do a specific thing in your business plan, and going to network events so that you can start getting exposure for your business. All of that is included in this program. Okay. So what are some of the benefits? So one of the things is you get live instruction. So there is no LMS where you log in and all of a sudden you got to watch some videos. Other than the videos that I might give you that are pre-instruction, it might add to the live instruction. But there is no, like, you go to work and you have to watch boring videos that don't really mean anything. You're going to get me live every single week. There's going to be a 3 hour live, instruction. There's going to be some presenters that's going to show up and talk about a few things. And then we also have the in-person and hybrid type of live instruction. So the only other recordings that you'll probably ever see will be previous recording that's related to the topics that we're talking about to give you a different perspective. Okay. And you'll have access to those recordings. Not only are the presenters there, but they're there to answer your questions about sales, about branding, about payroll, about insurance, about all these different things, right? These are people who I partner with for years, who come here and get paid. I pay them to talk to you, right? And the most important, you're going to be drafting a business plan. So when you come into this class, even if you had a business plan before, I'm going to give you a template, and me and you are going to work one on your plan. Nobody's going to see your plan but me. Okay, and you. And so between that consultation and the information you're going to learn, you're going to walk out with almost a complete draft of your business plan in depth. It's not going to be a lean, it's not going to be anything that is not going to help you in the future, because that is your bread and butter, that is your living document, that is your way of operation. So that business plan is what you're going to be getting, right? And then you also get 45 minutes consultation. You get 45-minute free consultation with me, which most people would end up paying for, but Montgomery County is going to pay for that time. And then all the other stuff on here are just added benefits and bonuses, right? They're just added benefits and bonuses about all of that. And you just get to just be exposed. And then there's other students who may have what you need to help your business. It's your first time meeting these people. I've had students partner up together and do business. I had some of them come to the class and learned from another student what they were doing, even though the thing was different and all this kind of stuff. It's just a really amazing opportunity and stuff like that, right? So, and you get a certificate, right? So I'll give everybody a certificate. And also, there's free membership too. So I have a free membership website where you can come and get information about grants, about networking, about contract opportunities. It's free, it doesn't cost a dime. You can join that and be part of it, right? So, any questions so far about anything I covered so far up until this point?
If there are, hi, sorry, quick question, and
Yes.
thank you again for doing this. If there are people who are in different parts of like starting a business, so you said like super new versus really experienced, does the group get sectioned based off of where they are in their business, or does everyone learn the same things or hear the same things in the classes?
That's an excellent question. So everybody is learning the same information. Where it gets different is when me and you have those conversations and working on your specific business. That's where it gets different.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Yes, because now I'm actually working with you one on one, but everybody is getting the same lecture, everybody's getting the same activities, and then you're sort of taking that and applying those principles to your specific business. And then when we talk during our consultation, this is when we flesh out some of the areas you're not sure about. Maybe you're trying to improve a certain area of your business plan, or maybe it's not even your business plan. It could be something you're already doing in your business that you might need some advice or some guidance, or maybe you need a referral to a specific person that I may have in my network that I would actually refer you to, and then the two of you will connect and that will help you. Does that answer your question as well?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Okay. So these topics right here, matter of fact, anybody else have a question just before I move on? I just want to make sure I don't miss anyone.
Hi, Ms. Austin.
Yes,
Tracy
ma'am.
Craig, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So, with regard to concept development, will this course help you to work through um, business extensions? So, if there's sort of a core concept, but there are other aspects that may need to be expanded in order to be ancillary businesses, does this course allow you to do that in the concept development stage?
Absolutely. Matter of fact, the first 2 weeks of this course is all about the concept, right? So I understand your question. So you have this core thing that's happening, and then you might have all these little different services. What tends to happen is that some people think that they're supposed to start individual different services when really, if it's related, you just add it as a service to your core services. For
Mhm.
example, Austin Tech provides business development services, but I also offer workforce development through my nonprofit. But all I do is just put a link to my nonprofit. I
Mm-hmm.
don't start a whole nother business. Or if I wanted to do, let's say I want to do event planning because I like doing event planning, I can add that as one of those ancillary services without having a new EIN, without having all that stuff because it's related to what I'm already doing. If
Okay.
it's, even if it's like completely different, right? I got one real quick, guys. I got to turn this thing back on. So even if I started something completely different, you can still make it a different service that has a totally different scope and everything without having to do another EIN and a whole nother business, unless you really want it to be 100% separate. So
Okay.
the concept process helps you just, helps you define how you would structure that business under your products and services by the time you get to week 3.
Okay.
Okay. So we work on concept week 1 and 2, and then you're starting to go right into week 3 with your business concept, which is product, services, pricing, and all that stuff.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Not a problem, not a problem. Let me see. Okay, I see a question. Would you help with changing of a business EIN? Yeah, during the consultation, if you have a trouble with your EIN, I can definitely help you understand how to make that change. So absolutely. Let me see. If you have a non-active LLC, can you help restart it? Absolutely. I help people with that too. I give you guidance on what you need to do to fix it, right? Because I want you to come out with your stuff fixed, right? I don't want you to come into class and then you come out the class and you're no closer to getting fixed, right? So if you tell me, and this is when the trust comes in, guys. This is when the trust comes in. I've had people come in this class and have never used a consultation or what have you until after the class was over, and then all of a sudden they want to have stuff. So two things. One, nobody will ever know what your business plan look like or your situation. I don't disclose that, okay? Two, anything you tell me is 100% confidential. I don't share that with anyone else. I have done hundreds of students. I don't start businesses based on ideas the students have. And trust is a number one thing with me. People have to be able to trust me in order for me to be able to help them or for them to allow me to help them, right? And so that is very critical to this whole process. I need people to trust me when I'm talking to them and guiding them and sharing information because I too will be trusting you by sharing my personal information because I get real personal in these phone calls. Sometimes we have women who share family struggles or mental or spiritual things, and then because they're sharing it with me, I'm sharing a piece of me with them. And that's how I'm building those relationships, long-term relationships, right? And that makes for building confidence. That makes for understanding that women can talk to each other and women and men can talk to each other. 99% of this class is all about women, right? I should just make this all a women's thing, but I try to get the men in here, but it's hard to get the guys in here. But that is the level in which I'm willing to go to make sure that you succeed. Okay. I had women tell me about any and everything that has happened in their life, and I can definitely understand it and try to do my best to offer that service of saying, hey, let me see where I can assist you in helping you move the needle, right? That's what I do. That's Ann. Anybody you meet that know me will tell you that that's who I am, right? So rest assured, guys, you're gonna be cool. If something going on, we're gonna try to sort it out, right? So if you see on the screen right here, these are the topics that we're going to be covering in this course, from concept all the way down to contract opportunity overview. Then we do have a separate class that's specific on helping you get your MBE. They don't do the DBE right now because that's on hold because of the federal rule. But I go through the whole application process to show you from how you do your, not just your MBE, but I teach you exactly when and how and what order to fill out the applications, how to do this, how to do that, so that you don't have to go back and, because if you mess up one, you got to go back and do all this other stuff, and it'll take so much time because they have thousands of applications for the DBE. So you could be putting other things in place while you're waiting. So contract opportunities are all-time high right now. So if you're trying to get to that level of contracts, you definitely need to have all these other areas that you see on the presentation here. And you definitely have to have a business plan so that you can, understand what you're trying to do. So these are the topics that we're going to be covering in this class. And about half of this are going to be done by professional presenters that I have who are partners of mine, right? So we're going to talk about who they are. Okay, and these are the key outcomes. So I think we kind of covered most of this already. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this slide right here. So here's my team, guys. Okay, so I've been working with the top row for a long, long time. Ken Alazier, he is the financial loan expert. He does business loans from $5,000 or $25,000 credit cards or whatever credit cards you want to get, all the way to multi-million dollars. Okay. He has been running that business for years. He has worked with me since I'd say since 2017, he's been on my team. Okay. Sharon Lewis has been on my team for a couple of years now. Met her at an event that I hosted, and she came and she spoke, and she does personal finance and insurance. Okay. She's really nice. You will love her. She does not do credit repair. I do credit repair, but she also talks about relationship with money, and she's also a fiduciary insurance broker, which she can help you with investments. Okay. Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr. is the brand and network specialist. He is everywhere, guys. Okay, when I tell you that he is all about branding, he will tell you and drill in your head about how you need to position yourself as a brand. And he's also an author, and he has a publishing company. So if you're interested in writing a book, you can talk to him and he'll help you with that. We have Ellie Natoli. She is a marketing specialist. She does lead generation and sales. Leroy and Ellie and I, along with LaWanda, one of the other cohort students, actually came, and we did a whole branding, sales, and all that 3-day workshop literally just in June. So that was actually sponsored by FSC First, but they gave us a grant to do that program, and we actually trained about 15 people on how to position their brand, how to do a budget for advertising, and then we also helped them on how to land a sale. So we'll probably have that again at some point. Um, and everything like that. And then we have Toya Lamb, which I see she's on here right now. She is a former student, and I'll let her introduce herself along with Monica. These are two brand new students, not well, they're brand new students too, but they're also part of my team now. They are very experienced in government contracting and change management and project management. Also have Iris Carter. She is also new. She does bookkeeping and all of that. Sarah was a former ADP consultant, and LaWanda is also another cohort. She's coming on. She used to work for the Biden administration doing communications for the White House, and now she's going to be helping to teach communications in this cohort. Okay, so this is the team that's going to be part of this cohort for Montgomery County. And again, I partner with a lot of people, and it's not just me by myself, although I can teach this class all by myself, but it's always better to have people who live and breathe. So I'm going to give Toya a few minutes to kind of get on here and kind of introduce herself and just tell you how her experience on, being a student, and just giving it real talk. Real talk. So, Toya, if you're able to get off mute, I'll give you the floor.
Okay. Can you hear me okay, Ann, and see me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Is my camera on okay? I've been having a lot of technology issues. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're perfectly fine.
Okay, awesome. Good afternoon, everyone. So as Ann spoke about, it was almost life changing. Let me set this up. There we go. What Ann did for me was life changing from the
Oh,
perspective
yes.
of
I'm sorry, Toya.
background.
You're sideways, and now you're up. There you go. We got you now. Start over. Sorry.
Ooh, forgive me, guys. Like she said, life is gonna life, but you gotta hang in there, right? So, what I want to share with you really was my experience as a student first, and just really took us by the hand and told us what was good, what wasn't, the good, the bad, the ugly. She was very honest, but extremely professional at all times. You need somebody that's going to tell you the truth. And she really told us the truth about what it was to be a business owner. She told us the truth about the amount of effort and rigor that we needed to put into our business plans and into our thoughts, especially into our finances, knowing our numbers. I mean, she went from soup to nuts in terms of what it is to run a business. And because of her, I am now in the position that I'm in, to be able to really go after business, having a foundation. Prior to coming to, and I actually had already started the business and had some pieces in place, but she actually allowed me to complete the puzzle, right? So I had a piece here, I had a piece there, but she showed me the pieces that I was still missing and was able to make me equipped to have everything in place. So by the time I finished my business plan, I had every single piece of information that I needed. The part that was, I think, most memorable for me was the demographics piece. I had never had that amount of research go into the demographics that you need to understand about your business, the different entities that you look into, like the Census Bureau, some of the local data banks that contain the information so that you really understand who your clients are. So um, I don't know that I could have done this without Ann. Let me just be honest. And so, to the point of even entrusting myself to come alongside her and her company and her brand to offer some of the things that I offer. So just for your awareness, the name of my company is Toya Lamb Consulting, affectionately known as TLC, because I put a lot of care into the human aspect of organizational development and strategic planning. There's always humans that are a part of that, and so I try to make sure that we always keep the human element up front so that folks can have a successful outcome. Thank you, Anne.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And I appreciate everything you're saying because it is humbling sometimes when you got a teacher that's, trying to really stress some stuff. And so I'm just really proud of the work that you're doing, Toya. I'm really excited. And by the way, guys, she was one of the driving forces that helped me get this contract, her and Monica. Okay. So that's the type of collaboration that I believe in, and I want us all to believe in. So this is a great time to ask Toya any questions. If you have any questions, being though she was a student.
Don't be shy.
Yeah. Some of them are probably what you call it? They double tapped and doing something. But you know what? If you have a question, feel free to come back. All right. All right, so let's move it on. Okay, now one of the things that we do have in this course, in addition to the 10 weeks and the workshops and the networking, is that we do have a final presentation at the end of the class. And this is when you get to express to Montgomery County uh, what your business is and that how they were able to, how you were able to apply this knowledge to your business, right? They want to know, have you learned everything you learned to make it? Because the thing is, if you really think about it, the investment that they're putting into this program, they are looking to further invest in Montgomery County businesses and probably beyond, right? So you really want to have your presentation and be there. It's also part of the requirements for even being in the course that everyone stays to the end, that everyone is able to hear the different presentations that are going on from all of the students. And I see you saying, let me see, how was the class working? Was it hard to maintain the schedule? Okay, so Miss Nolan, I'm gonna stop for a second. So Toya, we have a question that popped up. She wants to
Okay.
know, how was the class while working a job? Was it hard to maintain the schedule?
So The class was just like being in college to me, a master's program, to be honest with you, because of how comprehensive the material was. I had to really position myself to receive the information because, first of all, um, something like this, if you pay for it, it's going to be in the thousands of dollars. So let's start there, right? Um, I considered it a gift, so I positioned myself to be there. Full-time job, like even this evening, I am um, getting in a little later than normal because I had a late working day and a late unexpected meeting, different things like that. But I knew what I wanted and I knew what it was going to take to get it. And so I just positioned myself. Was it easy? Absolutely not. Would I do it again? Absolutely yes, in a heartbeat. Simply because of the fact that Anne was honest with us. And you need that. You need somebody that's going to really tell you what it is and not sugarcoat, because the quicker she got me to the point, the quicker I can make the correction. And I took full advantage of those counseling sessions we had. I was even texting sometimes, and just really reaching out because I really wanted to succeed. I mean, I got to the point where I was drilling down so finite that Ann had to pull me back up, like, okay, come on, girl, progression is better than perfection, kind of thing. So you really, yes, it's a lot of work. Yes, it is a lot of effort, but it is well worth it. You will not regret it.
Okay, so Tori, we got another question for you. Yeah, Miss Nola said thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have Tanisha. What she's asking for is a question is what was the biggest factor in landing your first few clients? What strategies have worked for building visibility and attracting the right clients? So that might be speaking on a different level, but see if you can
Sure.
answer that question.
No, absolutely. So I've only been in business since October of 2025. And one of the way that I positioned myself was the first 6 months to just build the business, right? Get the foundation, get a solid business plan, make sure that all of my credentials were in place, make sure I had set up my EIN, my bank, all of those things. I gave myself 6 months to do that. And then right after I finished Ann's class, Ann was my first client actually in helping her write the contract for this particular program that you all are interested in now. And it did my heart amazing that for one, I went from a student to supporting her efforts and realizing that she could see the fruit of her labor, right? So that was amazing for me to do. And then we also, because of the level of integrity and the level of effort that Ann puts to things, I was able to put her on as a very significant portion of another bid that we put in. And Ann, I'm hoping we'll hear from her soon. I just reached out yesterday. Um, but and I've done some kind of ad hoc things, but to answer your question, it comes with relationships. Had I not had a relationship with Ann, I would not have had the opportunity to do business with her. So as you begin to meet people, just make sure that you stay in touch, that the real you shows up, and that you honor your commitments.
That's an excellent one. Yeah. I mean, I would tell you that when I first started and getting a few clients, I actually was doing the workforce development for free for a lot of the time. And then I did this pilot course 2 times for free for women. Um, it really boils down to relationship building. It really boils down to how you're communicating with the customer on a different level. It is almost psychological, it's spiritual, it's really a thing now that we can talk to someone and build that relationship and know that they when they start talking about how the program or what you're saying or your service or your product really means to them, that is when you tap into when they're going to buy from you and be long-term customers too, and don't feel like you're just selling to them or at them, or you have to make them part of your ecosystem, make them almost like family, because people buy what they like
Yeah.
and they really speak up and share things of what they like. And if you can tap into that emotion, you can almost sell anything. And that's why those commercials are the way they are, right?
Mm.
So you get to learn what your specific persona is when it comes to getting clients. Everybody has like a special way of doing it. And this one lady, and I'll leave this last story. I used to go to Anne Arundel Mall just to walk around. Me and Mike would walk around. And this lady who would have a kiosk, she's the Asian lady, she will be there with the kiosk and she'll say, come on over here, sweetheart. I got this for you. And then she'll take a hat and put it in my head. You look beautiful. You look beautiful. And then she's forcing me to stop. And she has all this energy and she's smiling and she's saying, I got this for you and I will give you 10% off. And next thing you know, I done bought 3 hats and 2 pairs of jewelry. I'm like, but I like her energy, guys, and that's what it's about. And every time I go up there, she remembers me. She remembers who I am, and then it just makes me feel like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Guess what I got for you? I've been waiting for you. That's the kind of emotion that you have to tap into when you're like getting these customers, and when, especially when you're doing it the first time, or even if you've done it a million times, if you haven't done that, you need to start doing that, right? Okay, so I digress again. So we're gonna keep on moving.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so bottom line, guys, what is the value that you're going to lose if you're not able to do this course? Okay, so basically, this course, the way it's designed in Montgomery County is that they want at least 20 people from Montgomery County or having a business in Montgomery County to do this thing. However, if I don't get 20, at least 75% of them must be towards Montgomery County, and then I can have people in other counties. I have also sponsored people in the last 2 cohorts. I sponsored 4 people last time, and then cohort 1 and 26, I sponsored 2. So what does that mean? That means that this class is 100% paid for. This class, for my class, is $1,850. And that's what they're paying. Okay. They're not piecemealing it. They pretty much said you got 20 people, you can do the math. That's how much money it is, right? So if you don't sign up, if you're in Montgomery County and this course is free, you don't sign up, you literally throwing away a free class, okay? You're not going to get your questions answered, but you can probably search for answers, and those experts are right there. So you're going to be missing out. These folks are coming on there. Toya can tell you that these people share their information. For To them, it was for free. For me, I paid a fee because those are my SMEs and I value their information. But for my students, they didn't have to pay a dime for the information that they got. Okay. And most of the consultation that follow after that is free. Okay. You just need to take advantage of it. You also get to work on your business plan and really understand your business. Okay. There are hundreds of grant programs happening right now. There are hundreds of business pitches happening right now, still for businesses. Okay. If you don't know how to draft your plan so that you could do a business pitch, you're not going to get these grants. Okay. I've had 2 students leave this cohort from Toya's group who got grants. One got a $17,000 grant for her youth program, and then another one got it for her GED program over here in Upper Marlboro. So it's not important. I mean, I even got a grant, okay? So I'm just saying that you don't want to miss the opportunity just because you might be thinking about it. If this is something that you've been wanting to do and it's been on your heart, your mind, your soul, and all that, don't let it pass by. So what do you need to do? Okay. Whether you're in Prince George's County, Montgomery County, it doesn't even matter. If you want to be part of this program and have a chance of being on the seat or being part of the class, even if you may pay for the class at a discount or whatever, you go to this link, you sign up the registration right now. So you go to austintech-smallbusiness.com, MC student registration. You go there, fill out the application, scroll down, read all the terms and conditions from Montgomery County and all that, hit submit, and then that tells me that you are serious. That tells me that you are ready for me to interview you and that you want to be in this course. Okay? That's the first link that you want to go to, and I will put that link in the chat so that it'll be easy for you to get to if you are interested in that. Smallbusiness.com, MC student registration. Okay, I think I got that right. Okay. All right. Now, once you put your application in, okay, the next thing we need to do is we need to do a one-on-one interview. I do a one-on-one interview with everybody, whether they're in Montgomery County, because I want to make sure that I fully understand your intention of your business. Is it suitable for the course, or do you need something else that we can provide? So the interview is about 15 minutes. and it doesn't cost anything for me to talk to you. And because we are selecting people by the 30th, I need to make that minimum requirement of 20 people before that time to keep the August 10th date. If I don't get the 20 by then I have to do another Q&A, and then the date will be pushed back, okay? We already have people in the first Q&A sign up immediately. So don't wait until the 30th and say, "Oh, I think I'm going to sign up." If you want the seat, register. Okay, now the next thing you're going to do after that is schedule your interview with me using the Calendly link. I usually just try to call people, but it became too much a little bit. So if you can just pick the date and time that we can talk, you put that on my calendar for the 15 minutes, and then we'll have that personal one-on-one conversation. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to be saying, let me get back to you and I'm going to think about whether or not you're going to be in the class. I'm going to tell you right there on the phone whether you're in the class or not. Okay, I'm not going to waste anybody's time because everybody's time is valuable. I'm going to offer you solutions. I'm going to offer you alternatives if for some reason you're not able to get into this class. Okay, and for those who might be out of the county and still want to do that, we'll have a conversation about that because who knows, I might do the sponsorship thing again and you'll be able to join the class. But I have to know whether or not you're going to be doing this work. It is 10 weeks of straight work. It is 5 working workshops where 2 of them must be in person and the other 3 can be virtual. I'm trying to keep this as virtual as possible. Okay. And the in person ones are going to be in Rockville, which is, I have a training space or conference room out there that I rented that can, supposed to accommodate 20 people. But we're going to have the in-person ones in Rockville, okay, not far from Bethesda. So, but the other ones, we're going to try to do this as virtual as possible, okay? But Montgomery County has their requirements. Once you are selected and everything, then I'm going to give you access to a Google Classroom where you're going to have access to your training material, your handouts, and the student guide, which you will get on day 1. And so there are rules for getting into the classroom to make sure that you can get access to that stuff. So one of the most important things is when you're selected, you're going to need to be in there by at least August the 3rd so I can make sure that the homework, or not the homework, but the course material gets to you. Because if you do it after that, there's no guarantee that the course material will get to you because that's the way Google Classroom is set up. And also, if you have a Mac, if you're using a Mac machine, then I would like to know that in advance so I can guide you on how you're going to navigate the classroom because you can inadvertently disconnect things from it because the Mac does not work with Safari and it does, you have to actually download Chrome on your Mac machine in order to use Google Classroom. And if you're using a tablet, then there's some restrictions as well, okay? So again, there are 10 weeks of class. There's 2 networking events you got to go to. There's 5 workshops, and then there's a graduation. Okay. We don't know yet whether the graduation is going to be in person or we're just going to do the presentations. I'm still working that part out. And then you also get 5 free consultations with me for at least 45 minutes. We can talk about anything in your business, anything, okay? Or you just want to talk and just kind of talk and get some other life, whatever you want to talk about for that 45 minutes. That's what we're going to do. And so I'm going to open it up to see if anybody has questions regarding the schedule. So we're trying to do this August the 10th through October 13th so that we can have our holidays off. I'm really hoping that we get everybody we need for this program so that we can keep that date. If not, it'll be pushed back on our regular cycle, which will probably end either right before Thanksgiving or maybe the week before Christmas, which I'm hoping we don't go that far. So, other than that, I'm open for any questions regarding the schedule. These are on Monday nights once a week. Okay, nothing heard. I'll look for the chat.
Did you say questions?
Yeah, if you have any questions regarding the schedule, the time frame, the requirements of how many people Montgomery County versus other counties, any questions at all?
Yes, I have a few questions. I guess my first one, I see here on the bullet points. So I'm in DC, so I'm not a
Yes.
Montgomery County resident. I see the
Yes.
first one says you have to be, but it also says other counties are encouraged to apply. Can you explain the 75% that you were talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. So this task order that I am a prime on for the first task order of this year is a 3-year rotational contract, which means that I can actually have more than one cohort within the 3-year period. So they literally just gave this to me to start July the 1st. So for this specific one, they want me to have at least 20 people or more, 20 or more people. So that means that out of that number of 20, I got to have at least 15 to 17 people that are in Montgomery County, and I can have any other number after that that could be in DC, Maryland, or Virginia. Okay, because they want them because the program is paying for Montgomery County, but they don't want to always ignore other folks who may want to be in the class. You see what I mean? So I got to meet that requirement, that minimum requirement of 20 people. So I can have 17 people in Montgomery and maybe 3 seats. Last time I actually sponsored an additional 4 seats. So let's say you applied, you have a really good concept. I feel very strongly you should be in this class. I might say, okay, come on in here and be part of the course. And you don't have to pay anything because I am Austin Tech is sponsoring you. So I had 2 cohorts from the Prince George's County Economic Development. For the first cohort, I sponsored 2 people. For the second one, I sponsored 4 people. And we had what, about 23, 24 students in that class. Okay. So that could be a possibility. Or if you decide, let's say that none of the seats are there and you still want to join the course, then we can have a conversation about how you can join the course another way. Okay.
That makes
Or
sense.
you could join a future one that could be more conducive to what you're trying to do. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then another question I had was I saw all students will, and then one of the bullets is complete required assignments. Just
Yes.
wanted to get a sense of what the time commitment is. What are those required assignments outside of the ones that are listed here, if there are any?
Okay, so that's an excellent question. Okay, so every week we will be working on the business plan. Every time that we have a class, we're going to be focused on a specific area of the business plan, plus some other areas of business that you need to know. So each week you're going to have a weekly assignment where I might give you an activity, and then you're going to work on a section of your plan. Okay. It depends on which section we're talking about, and I'll give you specific instructions on what you need to do for that specific section of your business plan. And then there might be a video I might want you to watch to help you get more clarity on the topic. I might even give you a video of the session that we may have recorded so that you can go back and refresh yourself if you missed some points. With the workshops, that's an added thing that Montgomery County is asking us to do. So we have specific workshops, like maybe we're working on branding throughout the whole 4 hours of the workshop. And so that's a totally different thing. You're not working on your business plan at all. That's on a Saturday for 4 hours. And then the only other things that you will probably be doing is just having that consultation with me to help you with your plan. So if you get stuck on something that we taught in the class, that's a good 45 minutes that we can get on Zoom, we can get on whatever, and you can share your screen with me and we can work through the thing line by line, or we'll work on the section together or something like that to help you along. Okay. So those are some of the things, but the commitment is really just you doing the exercises and not waiting to the last minute, because a lot of people wait to the last minute and then try to do all that. To Toya's point, there is in week 4 and 5, there's a couple of research assignments that you're going to have to do for your business industry. That means that you may have to spend a couple of hours to do the research in order to fulfill that section of your plan. So you have to kind of work your time schedule around some of the things that you're going to have to do to meet that. Everything is by homework, it is graded, and everything needs to be turned in by Sunday midnight. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you. And
Yeah.
then
And it's
I
all
have,
about accountability.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry, I only have one more question. I know I've
No,
been asking
as
a few
many questions
questions.
as you want. This is helpful.
Awesome. I was just curious. So I was saying I would be a new business owner. What sorts of things are you looking for in someone that would make a good participant? I know you will be selecting, and it's probably pretty competitive. What are some criteria that you're looking for that's like, yeah, I would like this person?
Well, the main criteria is really just one, I don't put like, oh, the person has to be like, this is like the Montgomery County thing, right? For me, what I'm sort of looking for is what dedication do you have? You know, it's going to come naturally, right? It's going to come naturally. If somebody tell me, well, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do, but I'm not ready to start a business, they're clearly telling me they're not ready, right? They're clearly telling me that they're not ready to move forward. And this program is designed for people to move forward. If it was just a business plan class where they just want the information, but they're not ready to act, that's a different program, right? That's a 5-week program that I'm actually launching in 27 that allows people who just want the information. They're not ready to start a business. They're just thinking, hey, I just want to figure out what I want to figure out and maybe come back to it. And they just want the business plan class. And it's, very affordable. That's what that program is. This one is more geared to people who have the mindset and the drive that want to make their business happen. And it's got to come in the conversation. I'm not going to be egging on certain things. I'm just going to say, hey, tell me about what you want to do. That's the only question that mainly that I'm going to ask. And then as you're talking, I'm just going to kind of synergize off of what you're saying. And maybe I'll ask a question or two to see how far you went into it. Maybe you tried a couple of things and to see the level of effort that you put in just to try to make a business work. Or even if you had a concept and you never had nothing before, the fact that you worked out a concept to a degree tells me how much you're trying to start this business, right? So that's the only thing that I really ask is, hey, tell me about it. And then I'll let you express to me what you're trying to do. And based on the conversation, it's either going to be the classes for you, or maybe you need just branding, or maybe you need a different type of consultation, or maybe you need a SMED, somebody who is on my team that's going to provide you that level of service that you're looking for, right? So it depends on what people say. And I just leave it open ended, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
that's the best way to get the information, to let people freely be who they are and express what they want to do.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering
Not
my
a
questions.
problem.
That helps a lot.
Yeah, yeah, this is awesome questions, right? And so that's where the beginning of the trust comes in because we don't know each other, but you're disclosing things to me that is deeply personal, right? That affects you, that is going to impact you. And so that interview is not a it's not one of those things where I'm like, hey, I just need you to kind of like really sell me on why you should be in the class. What I'm really looking for is what is the driving force behind the business that you're trying to start? What is driving you to go there, to go to that level? Okay, that you're willing to take 12 weeks out of your life to do this class, right? And that comes with, you know, the passion behind it, and that's why I do the Q&A, because I want people to understand that it's not a webinar, it's not just an information center. It is a working business development program that's developing something that's going to change your life. It changed my life. It changed, you heard Toya, and if you were here last week, there was somebody else on there. We had two people on there last time, right? So, what is the life change that you want to have in your life, right? That is the question. And then I let people just express. Yeah. And then I share mine. And then we're friends after that. Yep. Yep. So as I was trying to mention earlier is that, normally we would have this in person, but since COVID, I've been doing this remotely. I started remotely and went back to remote. So I'm just asking folks when they get into class to just get yourself set up for success. Get yourself a computer with a screen so that you can see the information, that you can participate in any chats that's happening and things like that, that you are able to communicate, and don't be afraid to like talk to people, connect with people, join the, I'm trying to start an alumni program right now. It's the first alumni program that I've had where all the students are given an alumni number, a membership number where they can come back and get information. Toya can tell you, I did about 8 workshops where they didn't pay a dime other than the one for the DBE because that's the contracting one. But they all came and got free information. Okay. So take advantage of that. Come to the things in person that I'm going to be starting between now and 27. Take advantage of that. And also make sure you do that consultation. Okay. Get the technology to help you be succeed. Okay. So here's some FAQs. Some of these we answered already. So I'll just run through them real quick, and I think this is next to the last slide. So when does registration closes? So technically, registration closes when I have 20 eligible students. Okay, and we have to have 75 of them. If I'm doing 20 or more, 75% of them must be either living in Montgomery County or having a business in Montgomery County. You can live in another state and have your business in Montgomery County. They just want majority of those businesses to be in Montgomery County, right? And I may opt to sponsor some students, okay, because of that. Because I really feel like we have a good group of people who are coming on here. They have businesses, they have, passion, and I may feel strongly that this person really needs to be right now in this course, okay? So that is when we're going to do it. So it could actually close well before July the 30th, right? If we have enough people to meet the minimum. If I don't meet the minimum, I got to do another Q&A until I meet the minimum, and then we start the course, okay? What happens if you miss the deadline? So let's say you selected and I say, hey guys, you need to get into the classroom and you didn't check your email. Well, you're at risk for not getting the classwork, right? You're at risk of not getting the classwork. You're at risk of looking like, I'm gonna count you in as absent. And if I don't hear from you, you ghost me, you don't call me back, I'm going to consider you dropped from the program. And then I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to call another student and then I'm going to have that person take your place. I'm just being real and straight up. Okay. So make sure that, if you give me an email and a phone number to reach you, that I can actually reach you, because you never know. I might have to call you about your homework. I might have to reach out to you because an event is coming up or something like that. So make sure that after this class, if you fill out the registration, check your emails. If you don't hear from me, call me, reach out, or call me back when I reach out. Okay. If you can't join the August class, will there be another one? So this specific task order is a 3-year rotational, but I do have other opportunities that I have in the works to either providing another free one or a paid one. I'm still waiting on EDC, the Prince George's Economic Development Center, to come through. They're actually working on something to see if they can bring something for the next year. And then I'm also working with HOC, which I used to work with them for 8 years. I stopped doing it in 24. We're trying to start up another program in Montgomery County for that. And also I had people in other counties join that one as well for free. They actually paid for it. So I'm trying to see what they're going to do for the fall. But I don't have anything for Montgomery County because this is the first task order and I have to complete this one in order to advocate for another task order. So that could be in early 2027. Okay. Now, how can you protect your business concept when you're doing this thing? When you fill out my application, you are also attesting to the non-disclosure and confidentiality policy. We don't play stealing people's work in the classroom. We want to respect each other as adults and as business owners, because I'm going to be sharing my tricks and trades. You don't have to share your business with everybody in there because you're going to be sharing it with me. You can share it if you want to, but you're not required to. Nobody's going to see your business plan but me. Montgomery County will not see your business plan but me. Okay, so that's where it ends between me and you. So that non-disclosure applies to me as well and to every student that are in here. And along with that, you're also attesting to the student code of conduct. Everybody's going to respect each other. We're not going to have any fights. I think I had 2 students in the 12 years that actually disrespected a teacher or another student. So if we have stuff like that, they're going to be instantly dismissed from the class and they will not be able to attend any other future courses, because we want people to feel safe. We want people to feel like they can express without retribution or people criticizing them in a negative way. And we want you to be able to express your business without fear, right? Now, for the class assignment, I believe Miss Mariana asked the question. I don't care what kind of business you decide to bring into the class. What I care about is the concepts in which I am teaching you. You can have a business called Merry Little Lamb that fleece is white as snow, and her business is selling shea butter and lipstick and jewelry. It doesn't matter. What matters to me is that you take that plan and you configure a business and apply the principles that I'm going to teach you. You can come to the final presentation with a fictitious business. All I care about is, did you learn the concept and applied it to the presentation and the plan that you did in the class? Does that make sense, guys? Okay.
Okay.
So
Yes.
that is the level of secrecy in this thing. Some people don't mind sharing their business with me because of, that confidentiality, but then I have some people who just do not want to share their concept at all, and I'm not forcing nobody to. So when you do your business plan, I am reading it from the perspective that you are starting this fictitious business, and I'm going to treat it as if you're starting it tomorrow. I'm going to read every single line. I'm going to give you edits, and I will tell you straight up, spell check, check your spelling, check your formatting, do this, do that, put your sites right there. This is not the way you write it like this. Here's a suggestion. And you're going to get all these emails that I've been in your document. And then I'm expecting you to go back in there and fix it. Okay. If people are not doing that, then that means that I'm writing their business plan for them, and I'm going to drop you from the class because I'm not going to do your work for you and you're not doing the work. Right. So that's just being real, okay? I've had dropped a couple people who thought that I was going to go in there and start doing all the writing and doing the edits and all that stuff. And then they would come to class, do the workshop, and then they wouldn't do the assignments. And I dropped them from the class. It doesn't matter where they were in what weeks, they just got dropped because we that's not what we do here in the class. We're not going to do that. Okay. Now, the other thing, the question is, why is it 10 weeks long, right? And do I have to attend these workshops? Well, the answer is one, the reason why it's 10 weeks, because every single week we are covering 8 sections of your business. We're covering the mission, the vision, we're covering your products and services, we're covering your demographics, we're covering your marketing strategy, your resource strategy. We are covering how do you compete in the industry, what makes your niche and your value proposition. And we lead all the way up into your finance, which the finance piece will not be done because that's something an accountant has to do, but we still touch on the finance piece. So, and then you're doing your final presentation on week 10. So that's why it takes 10 weeks to go through the whole process. And you don't want anything quick because then you're only getting part of the information, right? Not to mention we have our presenters that come here and they're kind of spaced out throughout the whole 10 weeks. The workshops are mandatory because those are additional workshops that requires you to learn additional elements in addition to the class. That is a Montgomery County requirement. And so we want to make sure that you are getting those additional learning, those learning lessons there. Um, what type of assignments you'll be doing? I think I've answered that question. There are mandatory assignments and everything, and you'll be engaged in that every single week. Are they graded? Yes, they are. So the way the grading system works is that everybody starts off with 100. And then your points will vary as long as you're doing the assignments. So by the time you finish the class, you should be somewhere in the 80s and the 90s. If your score is like 40 or 50, and it will show that in the beginning, it'll be 100. And then as soon as you do your assignment, it's going to drop to like maybe 20, 25, 30, and you're going to work your way back up to 100. It's the way that I kind of grade because it's the most realistic way that I can see the progression of how you're doing your assignments. And you only get points when you finish and submit the assignment. You don't get grades based on the level of effort. You get graded on turning it on time and also making sure that that you understand the concepts and that you communicated with me. Those are the points you earn per section in the business plan. So every section is going to have a grade, okay? And so if you don't do the section on that week, you're going to get a 0, and then your score is going to drop a whole lot, right? And you don't want that. So you want to keep your scores up. I do offer incentives for people who stay up there, like maybe a free class, maybe a free ticket to an event, and things like that. So you want to, you want to kind of stay up to date, because you miss 1 week, it's like missing 3 weeks. Okay, you miss one presentation, you're going to be trying to play catch up for weeks. Okay, now with that said, if there's a death in the family, if you get violently sick and you just can't do it, just connect with me. Say, hey, and I am just really not feeling well. Is there a way I can make up my assignment? Right? Yes, you can make up your assignment. Just communicate with me. Just don't ghost me and then get upset. I've had women get upset because I said, hey, I need your assignment, and I didn't even know they were sick. I didn't even know they went in the hospital or anything like that, or they came back from the hospital and still ain't said anything, right? Just let me know what it is that you're trying to do. There is a limit on makeup assignments, okay? There's a limit. So maybe once or twice you be late on your assignment, but after that, I really want people to turn it in on time, right? Because I have to sit there for 6 to 8 hours and read 20 business plans. That's 20 individual business plans that I'm sitting there and helping you with. So I want people to turn it on time so that I can manage my time, right? So what happens? You miss too many classes? I think I covered that one already. And do I have to conduct a recorded final presentation? The answer is normally yes, but I'm trying to see if we can do something a little bit different and have a graduation in person, which might eliminate the presentation. I might have you turn in your presentation with a script, and we just have a graduation ceremony. Okay, so I'm working to see how that is going to fit and where we're going to have it at. Okay. Now, are there any other questions anybody want to ask for the FAQs? All right, guys, don't be shy now. Don't be shy. I know I got you. Sticker shocked you. I sticker shocked you. I know I did. All right, guys. Last slide, I think. So I tell everybody this is your opportunity, right? Tonight, I've had 49 people register to be here tonight on this last Q&A, and right now we have 10. That tells me that you guys really want it. Okay. This is your opportunity. Okay. Whether you're in DC, Maryland, Virginia, it doesn't matter. This is your opportunity. You got to have an open mind. You got to want this, right? You got to manage your time. That means if you're sitting back watching reruns of the Blacklist like I did for 4 or 5 months, you're going to have to put, James Spader on the back burner, right? Or you might have to tell your families and friends, hey, I'm out of pocket for the next 12 weeks. I got to work on me. I got to work on my business. Okay. You got to remove these distractions and put what's important first. Okay. And you got to surround yourself with people who are going to support you. If you got people in this ear and that ear talking about, so, oh man, you can go so and so place and get that tomorrow. Those are the ones that you need to kind of like, hey, I'll see you later. Love you. But in this course, it's all about movement. It's all about making sure that you are succeed. And so by you guys joining tonight lets me know right now, out of 49 registrations, who really won it. That's all I can say. So I would say if you haven't filled out that application yet, you need to do that if you want, to be in it. And here's my contact information, guys. Here's my contact. Demetri, I see you got your hand up. I thought you was giving me a high five there for a minute. I thought you was high fiving me.
I'm giving you both high five and hands up.
All right.
I'm just asking really quick because I do have a couple of people that I know that would like to be in the program. How can I like do a referral, or how can I send off the information, and what would they have to do?
Okay, so because they didn't come here tonight, what you could do is I'm going to, once this video renders, I'm going to send you out a thank you for attending email. I'm going to send you a link to this video for them to watch. And they can, if they're interested, they will fill out the registration, and then they will fill out the calendar to schedule an appointment, okay, to have a conversation.
Okay.
And so they can still do that. I'm also going to put this out on my YouTube channel. I might put it on my YouTube channel, both of them, and just send it out and have it that way. Take it out of Zoom and do that. And then anybody who sees it after that, by the 30th. I'm hoping to meet the number so we can have this class. If not, I'm gonna have to do another Q&A. I don't want to have to do another Q&A because I think there's a lot of folks out there that really want to do it. But that is where I am at this point. We do have people who have already taken the seat the first time that I'm looking at, so I'm looking to fill the remaining seats. Don't let people claim your seat, okay? If you feel like you got that shot to get in there, and if another opportunity comes up, you're already in the process. Think about that. You've already talked to me, already know about your business. All I got to do is call you and say, hey, here's when the next cohort is coming. Are you interested? Right? So keep in contact with me and don't let it slip. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, follow me on Facebook, or however you follow me so that you can be in the know of what's going on. So I'll send you that. Okay, Demetra? I'll send you that link.
Thank
Everybody,
you. Okay.
everybody get that link. Okay, Toy, you had your hand up or you give me high five.
Uh, Hand up, because I just wanted to share just one other point of advice. The reason I was able to be successful is because I did it with a friend. And we held each other accountable. And we made sure that we were doing things, and we would ask each other questions, or, did you fill in this and did you fill in that? So, Dimitri, I know you said you had about 2 or 3 other people that may want to be involved. I think you all should get a partner, especially if they're a business owner and you know that they really want to do this, because having that person with you and you both pulling each other up, especially on the hard days, because they may happen. And I mean, not hard days with the class, but life sometimes will be lifing.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
so
happens.
when you have a partner, they can say, okay, I understand. Let's go to class and then let's talk about that life afterwards. And you still stay on top of things. So if I can't say that enough, to have somebody hold you accountable was really a game changer for me.
I can tell you right now, though, every time week 3 and 4 gets here, people get overwhelmed in this class simply because there's some realizations about your concept that you thought you worked out, that it turned out that there was something different that you missed. Okay. You're going to have that. But the good news is you get to fix it. You get to fix the issue, or you get to fix or find a resolution to it, right? And that you're finding out now as opposed to going out there and figuring it out later by yourself. And to Toya's point, it's always good to partner up, right? That's what it's about, to have somebody say, you know what, let me help my friend out. We're going to do this together. I've had married couples come into this class. I've had two sisters come into this class. I've had cousins come into this class. I even had my husband take the last class. Okay. So it's really an eye opener, because through this whole process in 12 years and doing the round tables and stuff, when I had the office, I've had all different types of businesses come in and share all different kinds of stuff. I've learned so much doing this program to help my business, simply because I opened myself up to say, let me get this person and that person to come in here and talk about what we really should be doing. And without that information, I don't think I would have been successful. Me and Toya, I barely know her, but what I do know is that she sat up there and she helped me tweak this thing and we got this contract. I know that. Right? And we sat up and we did another one and we're hoping to get that one. And that's what it's really all about. I don't have to know you intimately to scale the business, although that's a perk. That's a perk. But the whole point is that you are getting help, the right kind of help, right? So you see all these women in here, probably a couple guys in there. These are students. This is just a fraction of the hundreds of students that have been through this course, right? They're doing it. You can do it. It's not that hard. You just got to step into it. Okay. So I'm an open book right now, because that's the end of my spiel as far as the information. I hope it was helpful to you, and that, this is a course that you really want to be in. I really want you to be in it if it's something for you. And definitely, get with me, get on my calendar. Don't wait to not have the conversation. Don't wait to the 30th. Okay. I'm telling you, don't wait to the 30th, because the 30th will be too late. Um, we're going to try to get this class kicked off in August. We're going to try to finish in October and celebrate in Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then you can launch your business or start anew in 2027. Yep, that's it. All right, let me call on some names. Miss Tracy, I like your picture.
Thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you kind of favor, what's her name? Miss Braxton. I love that.
Oh my, that's an older picture. So, but I thank you.
Okay, any questions, any thoughts?
No questions for me. I really like what you've put together and I appreciate your enthusiasm. I'm looking forward to filling out the application and we will see where we go from here.
Okay, all right. Well, let me pick on somebody else. Miss Tahara. I think I pronounced that correctly. She on the phone. Let me see. Is she around? Is she's listening, Miss Tahara? What about Miss Agnes?
Yes,
Oh, there you
yes.
go.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. How are you?
Good,
I'm
good. What are
sorry,
your thoughts?
I joined late with the baby. I just came out the work and then I joined very late and I just grabbed some of the things, but I missed a lot of things. But I just opened my small t-shirt business in Montgomery County, and I
Uh-oh, we lost audio.
still figuring out around to how to expand my business and sell more and get to know people more.
Okay. Well, I'm
Yes.
gonna make sure you get the link so you can catch the beginning of it, okay? So
Okay. Thank you for
you'll get
that.
the link and but you know what? I'm glad that you made it here, okay? So that you
Thank
got
you.
to at least show up. Okay, all right.
Thank
Natria,
you so much.
no problem. Natria, what's up? I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Natria, okay, she's on mute. How about Agnes?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you're there. There you are.
I'm
What
here.
what are your thoughts, Miss Nolan?
Oh, it's a lot to process, but it's got me revved up, so I'm ready.
Oh, yay. Well, I won't pick on too many more people, except for Miss Church. I'm gonna say something, Miss Church.
I'm here. Yeah, this was a lot of information to take in, and I'm looking forward to working with you and your staff and everyone else on the call and whoever joins the class and seeing what it takes me. This is
Oh,
like my third or fourth attempt at this, so hopefully this will be a little bit more hands-on, so maybe I'll actually complete this mission.
oh yeah, it's definitely hands on. You already handcuffed Miss Church, okay? You mess with me, clink clink, it's done. Okay.
Okay.
They'll tell you can't get rid of me because I'm gonna call your phone. I'm gonna send you emails. You trust me. You're not going anywhere. If I get a hold of you, that's it. It's done.
Well, you've done an awesome job. It definitely is well organized, I say that.
So thank you. I appreciate. I'm trying. I'm really, really trying. I came back off of a year of a hiatus to take care of my health, and then my uncle passed away. I had to take care of him prior to that, and so I'm just kind of bouncing back and getting out there and just trying to keep it going, keep the momentum happening. And I really enjoy what I do. I really enjoy helping women, small business owners. I really do. I mean, I think this fabulous to work with so many dynamic women who are doing powerful things just by themselves anyway. And now you're trying to take another element of your life and turn it into something that is more passionate, like your business, and use it to the fullest, man. Use it to the fullest. That's all I can say. You only get one life on this earth, one. So I'm using mine to the hilt until I can't do it no more.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yes, yes. So I am open. I'm open for any questions. I'm going to turn the recording off, and this is what I call the after party. I call this the after party because then people can say what they really want to say.